India, a wealthy and populated country in the 17th century, focused on connecting their polytheistic religion of Hinduism to their culture and traditions. Each Hindu god emphasizes specific traits of the culture. Kartikeya, the son of Shiva, who is a very important god in Hinduism, represents war by holding a blade and a lightning bolt in his hand. Not only is he a figure of war, but also he ironically is a figure of peace. With these contradicting values, he shows the balance of war and peace in India. Kartikeya's peacock clutches a serpent in his talons, showing resistance of the temptations of evil. The Mughal Empire ruled India by dramatic expansion and abilities of the upper class. Kartikeya, an admired and significant god, supports the culture of 17th century Maratha Empire in India with its religious and martial values. Kartikeya justifies war, focuses on perfection, and resists evil and temptation. Kartikeya, god of war, is used to justify it, and Indian society focused on expanding. Because India was a highly populated country, they were looking to conquer new lands in hopes to grow and spread their civilization. In order to justify expansion and war, Kartikeya, the son of Shiva, who was a major Hindu god, possesses warrior and godlike traits by holding weapons in his hands such as a blade and a lightning bolt. Like Zeus, Greek god of lightning, Kartikeya holds a lightning bolt, showing his dominant character. With an important god to justify their actions, Indian forces were able to gather warriors, helping conquer north and west of their country. The Maratha Empire, an empire trying to return India to full potential after the fall of the Gupta splendors, was rapidly expanding and nearly conquered the whole Indian subcontinent. Shivaji was the founder and emperor of the Maratha Empire. He was a patron of art, connecting him to artwork like the statue of Kartikeya. The emperor is known for his military powers and peacetime diplomacies. His mother was a pious Hindu nurturing Shivaji with a strong Hindu upbringing. Shivaji had a great tolerance and kept his empire content. Kartikeya possesses many of the same qualities as the emperor, suggesting that the artists and Brahmins bestowed new traits and characteristics upon him to make him more like Shivaji. The Maratha Empire was in conflict with the Mughals. Wars were violent and resulted in many deaths. During these wars, Hinduism was the common thread to keep the people united, despite attacks which separated them. With the justifying qualities, Kartikeya helped expand the empire morally. Kartikeya is an artistic Hindu figure that represents religious values and vigor, which helped keep 17th century India's society successful. He is a dynamic god who embodies the path to achieving perfection. By intertwining this idea of perfection with an important religious figure, Hinduism influenced religious and secular regions of society. He was thought of as an icon, triggering an acceleration of religious artwork through iconic representation. Perfection was supplemented in the minds of the elite class, forcing them to work hard in order to perfect the government. This idea prevented the aristocracy from becoming corrupt or self-centered. Each varna was kept defined and in place because all people worked towards reaching this goal of perfection, attempt to pleasing the gods. All classes prayed to Kartikeya in hopes of living a perfect life. Perfection fulfilled the lower class dull lives by providing them with the quality to focus and strive to achieve. Kartikeya served as a god of war, the ability to conquer evil and temptation, and he was the most masculine of all Hindu gods. These qualities further amplified his stature and significant Indian icon. The peacock that Kartikeya sits on crushes a serpent in his talons, showing the ability of Kartikeya to ward off harmful desires. With his abilities to serve as a focal point of Hinduism, he helped Indian civilizations to become very successful. By values connected with Kartikeya, the statue works to represent the importance of resisting evil, which helps maintain a balanced society. Kartikeya is an exemplification of a well-rounded Hindu individual and society. As a figure of praise, he creates an ideal representation of the benefits of following Hinduism guidelines. Through his mythological involvement as a soldier in the Holy Army, Kartikeya fights against the evildoers who contradict the rules of Hinduism. He also possesses a mighty power, and he uses the power for the purpose of betterment. Kartikeya also is a fine balance of military and religious connection. In one hand he carries a spear, his Shakti, and the other is empty in order to bless those who comply and follow his teachings. He is often regarded as a figure of perfection. His ability to resist evil and maintain his strength and power without corruption outlines a valuable member of society. His 6 heads finalize his all-knowingness and representation of perfection. The heads represent his wisdom in the 5 senses in the mind. Kartikeya, both physically and symbolically, is a demonstration of how a perfect society would be characterized. Though the ancient empire of India has faded, the values of Kartikeya are still applied to modern empires. Among the greatest problems that affect civilizations of today is corruption. One of Kartikeya's most prominent values is his resistance and oppositions to corruption. There is also an excess of greed and ego in crumbling governments of today. These 2 values, called lava and mada, respectively, are 2 of the 6 evil senses in the Hindu doctrine that is specifically enforced by Kartikeya. Success with values contradicting those with Kartikeya endorses is nearly impossible. His values can be applied on a personal level all the way through to a governmental and to a global level. While Kartikeya is not used specifically to model rising governments, his values and representations can be applied to demonstrate an ideal perfection during any time. Before its radical intervention, modern-day Iraq demonstrated a government which lacked values that Kartikeya portrays. With a corrupt government and an egotistical leader, the nation crumbled.